Hi everyone, I've got a new toy. This is a new pedal that I got. This is the Octapussy by Catlinbread. This is not a very new pedal, but it is new to me and I am very excited to get this. I love Octave Fuzz, probably one of my favorite effects along with wah. I've just really wanted this pedal for a long time. It's a little pricey, it's $179, and that was hard for me to justify because I own this Octave Fuzz pedal. This is the Octavia by Roger Mayer. This is an older one. I bought this used. This goes, if you go on Reverb, you'll see this. New, it's around maybe let's say $300, and used you might see it around in the $200 range, but occasionally it dips below that. It bounces around. It's been out a long time, this pedal, and I actually got mine for $150, probably, I don't know, 8 years ago. I don't know, 7 years. I don't know. This pedal has some problems. One, it's huge. Two, it does not run off of a power supply. You have to use a battery, or very popular hack to this is let's see if that's in focus. You can see that you can cut a notch in the housing, drill a hole, and you can run a lead, a 9-volt snap lead, like you would for a battery. It just goes out to this. You can plug this into your power supply to make this more pedal board friendly. And the other problem with this is, well, when it's used, it's missing the screws to the feet, although it's on a pedal board, that doesn't really matter so much. It's pretty beat up. The pots on it are dirty, but Roger Mayer makes this thing like a tank or like a spaceship. I'm not sure which is a better way to say it. This thing is like solid. It's a weapon, and it is heavy and dangerous in all the right ways. Although I love this thing like crazy, and it keeps coming back on my board no matter what I do to take it off. I've always been looking for replacement options, and I think that this is going to be that replacement. You can buy this in a pedal board friendly version. There's I think it's called the Vision enclosure, which is slightly smaller, but then there's also a new TC version of this. But that's like $325, and I already own this, so it was hard to justify buying that. So this, $179. But I got this on clearance at Guitar Center for $119, which was very hard to beat. So why am I so excited about this? Well, this, for an Octave Fuzz, just like this is supposed to be highly dynamic. This pedal is super dynamic. It's very responsive to how hard you're hitting it with your guitar. It's responsive to what you have before it, the type of pickups you're using, what your volume knob is set at, what your tone knob is set at. You know, where you're hitting the string with your pick, with your finger. Are you by the bridge? Are you more by the neck pickup? It'll really change how this pedal reacts, and that's really important to me because this becomes a very organic and living component of the rig. It's also very consistent in how it reacts. So it's not like it's a wild goose chase. When you're playing, you don't know what you're going to get. I know what I'm going to get, and now it just becomes an extension of the instrument. This pedal also, just for those who don't know, the Octave Fuzz effect, Roger Mayer invented this effect. The first time it's ever heard is on the album Purple Haze, on that recording, Purple Haze. So, you know, as someone who's a Jimi Hendrix fan, it's hard to not like that effect, like that pedal, and like the Roger Mayer version. Catlinbread. Let's get to them now. I'm going to read their little write-up. This is essentially an octave up fuzz in the tradition of the Octavia. So they're trying to do it in the tradition of this, but it's not a clone. It's its own original circuit utilizing 3 silicon transistors and 2 diodes that takes the tradition to the next level. The preamp section of this pedal is custom voiced to give you an extremely dynamic playing response. What do I love about this? That it's dynamic. Extremely dynamic. We'll find out. First, let's open it up. Let's see what you get in the box. You know, this is, people love unboxings, so I'll do that. Great, there's a box. The box is open. Okay, so inside here, let's see. It's in this plastic bag, and there's a sticker, which I'm not even sure what that reads. An anti-chathon. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Then it comes in a static sensitive box. I'm not like you're buying RAM for your computer or something. I'm not sure necessarily why that's the case, because hopefully this doesn't mean this is super sensitive just in general, because it's going to be on your pedal board. You're going to take it out into the wildness that is a bar. Or perhaps it's just going to stay in your smoke-free studio forever. Very tight little bag. Okay. All right, so that's it for packaging. That's all there is for unboxing. So hopefully I didn't let anyone down. Immediate first reactions. I like that there's nothing on the back. I'm just going to put Velcro on this. It's just going to go on a pedal board. So it's very flat. It's very flush. That's great. Really wish all manufacturers would move to top mounted jacks. This is relatively small. I understand why not. It's also an older pedal, so I also understand why not. Same thing with the power. I love when all that's just up on top. I would say considerably smaller than the Roger Mayer. I should also add that when I bought this Roger Mayer pedal, at the time I went to every music store in New York City and tried every single Octave Fuzz pedal that was in stock at any of those stores. And then I played this. Actually played this close to last. It was in the last store I went to. It was the last 3 pedals I tried. It was the best. The original is really hard to beat. I have a lot. I really, 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 really want this to replace this, or at least be good enough that I don't need to put this huge thing on my board. I'm picky. I love this pedal. This will be a big test for this. Last thing I will say is really nice feeling switch on this, and the knobs, these knobs are very smooth. There's no, I have a handful of like electro harmonics pedals, and as the knobs turn, they like go like, they're not very smooth. They feel gritty, or they don't feel centered. This feels really well made. Here we are. I'm gonna talk through the setup really quickly, and then I'm mostly going to try to focus on playing, because that's what I think we all want. Hear these pedals. I've been doing enough talking as is. I'm going through my Japanese-made Strat, 63 copy, I think, or it's a 68, I don't know, 60s, one of the 60s, 65, I don't know. I will be using the neck pickup primarily. Currently I have the tone on 10, but I will roll the tone probably down to 1. And that, if you're familiar with these Octave Fuzz effects, if you want to get that that classic Octave Fuzz sound, you put it on the neck pickup and you roll down your tone. Pedal chain beyond that. So I have a Boss RC2 looper here. Now this is maybe so I'm going to put a loop in here, and then we can hear the 2 pedals directly, exact same loop as I toggle. Then I have the Roger Mayer Octavia, and I have the Catlinbread Octapussy. For the amp, I'm going to be using a Fender Mustang 3. Why a digital modeling amp when dealing with boutique-ish, vintage sounding Octave Fuzzes? Well, this Catlinbread pedal is so insanely loud at its max setting that there was no way I could actually record it in my current setup without either clipping on my mic input, or just being way too loud for my own sanity, and probably getting myself in trouble. I was pushing the boundaries and testing this out. And the Octavia is also pretty loud too, although I would say the Octapussy seems to be winning that battle for decibels. But it's a pretty close race. Just very quickly, both pedals are off. The Roger Mayer does not have an LED or light of any sort to let you know that it is on. That is also a complaint that I have, but such as, you pretty much know when it's on, but it'd be nice to have a quick visual reference. The Octapussy does have a blue LED, although you can actually turn that off. It's one of the, inside, if you take the back panel off, there's the ability to turn off that LED light. In their manual, it says that lets the pedal actually become even more dynamic. Just very briefly, I'm using a Fender 59 Bassman patch on the Mustang. I have the gain pretty low. There's a very subtle plate style reverb on that. So neck pickup, volume on 10, tone on 10. So that's probably not very loud, or it's probably pretty dry as well. Not a lot of gain there. I'm going to start with the Octapussy. Right now, I have the gain maxed out. I have the body knob maxed out, and I have the attenuator as low as no attenuation. So this is maximum insanity. Okay. Tone is still on 10. I'm going to roll that down. I'm going to bring the volume down a little bit. Okay, I'm now going to switch over to the Roger Mayer. This pedal I will also max out for both its fuzz and volume controls. I actually don't remember how they're actually labeled on this pedal. Volume at 10, tone all the way down. I'm going to lower the volume a notch, about 6 or 7 here. A little bit lower. I'm down about 1 right now. Roll up the tone all the way to 10 again. Bring up the volume all the way. So my immediate first thoughts are that the Roger Mayer is more aggressive. It is definitely angrier, but it's also a lot dirtier in ways that make it a little grittier, I guess. I'm not really sure what the way I want to phrase that, but it's just has a... if I dial this pedal into how I would normally have it for like a live performance, I generally don't have it fully cranked. That sort of like sweet spot is where the Octapussy sort of just lives. And as I turn up the gain knob, it's really like turning up these two knobs sort of together in conjunction. This body is really just adding low-end additional bass thump. And right now I have it turned up all the way because it's just the guitar by itself, but I could imagine if you were in a band, you might actually turn this down to make sure that your guitar was cutting through the mix even more, even if you're just for home recording or studio recording, to make sure that your guitar really is standing out in the mix. This attenuator is really nice because of the way that it is lowering volume, and I'll go over that in a bit. So, okay, so what I've set up here is I've recorded a loop into this pedal, which you can hear now. And that is recorded on the neck pickup with the tone volume up all the way, so you're getting all the treble you would get on the neck pickup. I haven't rolled any of that off, just a normal straight sound. I'm now going to toggle between these pedals, adjust knobs on the fly, so you can sort of hear that in real time and get a sense of what that sort of sounds like. So I guess we'll start with the Octapussy. That volume I was talking about. Turn up the body. Go over to the Roger Mayer now. So everything is turned down, that's why you're not hearing anything. The attenuate or attenuator knob. See if I can get this a little similar sounding. Here, this just has so much more grit on it. So you get sort of a similar sound between the two. To really get the Octapussy to sort of sound like this right now in the room to my ears, I have the body turned down all the way. Gain is, oh, I don't know, whatever here is. And I'm attenuating just a little bit just to drop some of the volume, keep the volume about the same. noisier for sure. So when I listen to these, and this just has a little bit more of I don't know if you're familiar with the Roger Mayer Axis Fuzz, which is a pedal I have. I can definitely see how this sort of relates to that. This has a more fuzz face sound to me, whereas this sounds more like this, but cleaner, and just not as much hair and grit to it. When playing this through my other amp, my Fender Super Champ, you really could get a sense of sort of the compression on this pedal. It's hard to tell on this recording if this has a sharper attack transients or not. I can't really tell. Maybe this does or that does. I don't know. I'll be curious to hear the recording. When I was listening to this in the room just to play with it the first day I got it, I really had to attenuate this down because it was so loud going through the Super Champ that I couldn't have everything up all the way just in this type of setting. It was just so insanely loud, so I had to attenuate and drop some of the body in the gain, and really ended up putting it sort of in that sweet spot where I was getting these to probably sound a little more similar. The Octapussy can sort of sound like the Roger Mayer when it's more subtle settings. If you really want the full insanity of this thing, this probably can get you there. This probably has a nice consistency for live use, but the Roger Mayer does have a certain special magic that is really hard to pinpoint or to replicate. So I guess you got to get them both. All right, so that is the Roger Mayer Octavia Catlinbread Octapussy Shootout. These two side by side. What do you think sounded better? What's your thought on this? This is the original. All right, you let me know. Leave a comment. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you like this, check out other videos on my channel, or you can go to Patreon and you can become a patron. And a tremendous thank you to everyone who's already done so. It really makes making these videos possible. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.